Hey guys, Algebra 1. Today we're doing a how to do it in the calculator to do the intercepts. So if you have a TI-80, uh, this should be useful. If you don't have a TI-80, it's fine. Everything you're going to be able to do is doable by hand. But I did want to show how to do it in calculator to help out with the system of equation things. But everything we have will be doable by hand, so don't sweat that. Or do with able to be done with a normal calculator. So I know some of you guys left your calculators in school. Some of you guys might not have it. That's okay. But I still want to teach this and I still want to practice this. So why don't we go through this? We're going to do number 1 over here. And how we're going to do that is with the calculator. So how do we do the calculator? First, we're going to learn how to graph on the calculator. To graph on the calculator, we click y equals. And you can see there's y1, y2, y3. You could have up to 10 equations. We only need 2. So first thing I'm going to do is press x, which is over here, plus 4. So I copy down my first equation like that. Second one I'm going to do is y equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So that's going to be 2x, the square button is right here, squared, minus 3x minus 2. So those are your 2 equations. And I'm just going to graph, but just before, the first time you graph, just click graph, and then you see option 6 standard. Okay? This is the first time you graph. After that, you could just click the graph button here, but you probably have never graphed on this calculator, so I'm going to say do that first. Okay, so what has happened here? Line 1 was drawn first, and it's a straight line, and we could tell that because that's y equals mx plus b. So that's a straight line with a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 4. The other one is a parabola, and we could tell that because it has the x squared. So it's this parabola and this line. Now, when we were always looking for the points where they intersect, there are literal points where they intersect. One right here and one right here. The calculator can tell us those points, and this is how we're going to do it. First, we're going to start off by this. Second, and we're going to click that trace button. It says calculate on top. So second, trace. Now, all these options, remember, we're looking for where they crisscross or where they intersect. So we're going to click option 5. Option 5 over here, which is intercept. Okay? Now the first curve. So what did he mean by the first curve? Well, they want to know if you had more than 2 lines, what are the 2 lines you want to tell are connected to each other? In this case, we only have 2 lines. So whether I call this the first curve or the second curve, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to call this the first curve, and I'll call this the second curve. Those, you just press enter twice in that situation. If you only have 2 equations, you press enter twice. There's no question about it. All right, so now they ask you for a guess. Why do they ask you for a guess? Because they want to know, are you talking about this left one over here or the right one over here? So you can see how my marker has a little X here. We're just going to click left to get a closer to it. The reason is to show, hey, I'm talking about this one on the left. We're going to do it again for the right one. So it just gave me one of my answers. And one of my answers, and this should feel familiar, because it is the okay, I can't paint right now. But it is one of the world problems we did yesterday is negative 1 comma 3. So one of my answers are negative 1 comma 3. I can't draw right now, so you're just going to have to trust me. It's negative 1 comma 3. Then we're going to do the same exact thing again. So second, trace. We want the intersect, so option 5. First curve, we don't care because there's only 2 curves. Enter, enter. Now I have to guess the other side. I want to guess the other side around here so it knows to give me this guy. I don't want this guy anymore. I already know it's negative 1 comma 3. Press enter. 3 comma 7. So if you have a calculator, some of this stuff could be really easy. This is how we do it by graphing. We already practiced a lot of graphing in 9.1 and 9.3, the last test. So I don't need you guys to do graphing by hand. We already tested on if you can or can't do that. I'm showing you this calculator to make your lives easier. But then again, maybe you don't like the calculator or you don't even have the calculator. That is okay. You are still free to do this by hand. Okay, so we got homework coming up. It's going to be basically some more of these problems. Thursday, Thursday, I'm going to give out the review sheet and we'll start our review day and stuff like that, okay? Otherwise, have a wonderful day, guys.